Hi, welcome. So let's go ahead and say a quick cleansing prayer and then we'll hop right into the messages because it is a lot. So thank you. Thank you so much, Most High God. Thank you, Divine Mother and Father. Thank you for our angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. Thank you so much for my brothers and sisters who are watching. Thank you for your grace, love, mercy, guidance, and whatever else you want to share with us in this space. In your name, we thank you and receive. So it is, Ashe. Guidance is a big energy. Let's see. What energy do you want to discuss directly with the one who is watching, God? This message, by the time it gets to you, I know for a fact it's meant for you because this message has been trying to get to you for a long time now, okay? It's been a lot. So I know this message is getting ready to be special. Because usually when something makes you repeat, do it over, try again, usually the results are going to be amazing. It's the Michael Jordan effect. I'm hearing Michael Jordan effect. There is this call that you need to really get a hang on your energy, right? First card out was anger. First card out was anger. I'm hearing Miley Cyrus, Wrecking Ball. We have peace and passion. It's like, it's on you. So what you gonna do? Hey, it's on you, literally. Like the energy is available to you. It's up to you to choose what you're gonna do with that energy. Either you're gonna develop your passion with it or you're going to and find peace, because with finding your passion comes peace. Okay, either you're going to find your passion with it and be at peace, or you're going to allow that energy to drive you and it's going to be anger. Look, I get it, I understand. I know for me on my spiritual journey, it has been anger, it has been a temper, it has been all those things, and it was all for purpose, because if I hadn't had those moments where it was like the temper, the anger, the moments where I'm just like, I don't think I would be as loving, as forgiving, as thoughtful as I am now. Like those situations took me down a spiral to the point where I had to understand, you know what? A lot of times when I'm angry, I would just be trying to be heard, right? And so then what I would notice is by the time the situation gets back to a conversation, away from yelling, away from whatever else we're doing because we want to be heard, that's when I will realize that it didn't even matter anymore. What I was mad about initially doesn't matter anymore because I done showed my behind. And I really feel like that's part of the energy that God wants you to know. It's like, what's more important? Because sometimes if you want to be heard, the best thing to do is to be quiet. And I know that is a very difficult lesson to learn. It's something that is it takes a lot of strength to embody. It takes a lot of strength to embody the understanding and understanding of what anger is, because anger is truly an energy that is for you. Okay, it's for you. Anger is for you. Anger is for you to understand something that's going on inside of you, you know? When you start going to people and telling them that they make you angry or they're the source of your anger or you behave because of something they did, then what you're ultimately saying, the bottom line of that is saying that I don't have control over my own power and my energy, so here, you can have it. Here, take control of me because I can't do it. We rebuke and bind those words, okay? But I feel like your angels need you to be aware of it. Oh, they make me so mad. They piss me off. Oh, I did this and that. We know. And I think it's so special that at the bottom of the deck we have fear, because with the fear energy, that's where a lot of that anger comes from. A lot of times anger comes from a fear. Anger comes from disappointment. Disappointment stems from fear on some level. Like, literally, the only thing that there really is fear and love. everything else is just a variant expression of one of those things, you know? It's somewhere there. And, oh, oh, this anger that you are experiencing is born of something else. This is born of being the black sheep. This is born of being rejected. This is born, what else did you show me, God? You showed me rejection. You showed me hunger. What else did you show me? Pain. Rejection, hunger, and pain. And that energy is here. That energy of rejection, hunger, and pain is here. That is solar plexus. That is root chakra. That is sacred chakra energy. You know, let's get the advice. Let's get the advice, because for anger to be the first card out, and it hasn't, it's been the first card out a couple of different times, you know. Get a hold on that energy. Okay? Get a hold on that energy. Get an understanding of what revs that energy. Get in tune with yourself. You know, being angry is your responsibility. Anger is something inside of you that's calling for your attention. Anger is a part of you that needs your attention. Anger is a sign for you to stop. Anger is a sign for you to be calm, be cool for a minute. Try to figure out what you're feeling and why. And then once you've got an understanding of what you're feeling and why, then you need to understand what is it that will bring ease to that. Okay? What will bring ease to that? What will calm the fire of anger? And I can guarantee you, if you go straight to an energy of, oh, I need to go tell them, or I need to let them know, they need to hear how I feel, that's fine, right? That's okay. But if that's your resolution because you need them to respond, then you need to come back to the drawing board, redo it, okay? Redo it, because whatever solution you come to about anger, it needs to be resolved within you. That fire needs to be outed by you. Your peace needs to be re-solidified by you. Okay? Because if you go into somebody else expecting them to cool the flames of your anger, you may be at an impasse with that person. You guys may not be able to see from the same side of the table. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that you can't be at peace enough to still sit at the same table with another, you know? And also recognizing and understanding that a lot of times when you're triggered, when that anger energy presents itself and you're triggered, you have to be able to understand that that is a red flag on the play, that I need to go back within. And I need to understand something else about myself. I need to understand why I'm triggered. I need to really unpack this thing and then break it down and look at the pieces, right? So that I can try to figure out a way to conquer what I'm feeling. Anger is like hitting a jackpot of an emotion. Anger is one of those emotions that's like big face 20s, big face hundreds. But you got to know what to do with it, you know. You really have to be able to harness it. And it's not easy all the time. You know, I've had my moments. I've definitely had my bouts with it. Okay? But taking responsibility for it, and also understanding that when you express feelings of discomfort, or when you express the moments of, okay, well, I didn't like when this happened, when you express that, you have to be able to be okay with if somebody's like, oh no, that's stupid, that's BS, why would you be mad? But also take note of how often you are hurting, and how often you are sharing from a genuine space, and how often you are rejected, and from who. And it's not so we can keep a scorecard so that we can cut people out of our lives, but it is so that we can remember who to put our energy into. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be sitting there saying, I'm angry, this person pisses me off all the time, and they don't sow anything of decency and growth into your life. That's important to note. If a person brings you more trauma than love, kind of got to cut your losses in those spaces. You really got to cut your losses in those spaces and be real with yourself. All right, let's pull another card. I'm just surprised at that anger and passion. You know, when you understand what makes you angry, then you understand your life's passion. You start to understand your life's mission. You start to understand the root of things. Like, some people, things trigger them so bad. Like, weave may trigger you because you have a story that happened, and so you want to help certain people in that area of life. You may have a soft heart for people who wear real diamonds. You might not like that. You might take a stand in that because of something about you that it really just burns your cookies to know that this problem exists in the human race, right? And so then that is how passion is born. Passion is born in that way. I was about to say passion is burned, you know, and I'm seeing a candle being burned at both ends of the stick. It's important for you to depressurize, you know, get help when you need it. Talk to good friends that have good advice. Seek counsel. Hit people up like me. I'm not the only person that offers services. Sow into yourself is what I'm saying. Sow something good into yourself so that you can deal with that energy, harness it, and use it and transmute it into something that is usable. Anything else you want to say to the one who is watching? You have a beautiful mind. You have a beautiful mind. And as I'm saying that, I'm thinking about that song by Coolio back in the day from that movie, Beautiful Minds or something. I want to say it was Beautiful Minds. And he was saying gangster's paradise. Been spending most of our lives living in a gangster's paradise. And I feel like with that movie, there were so many beautiful souls and so much creativity and so many issues that really tugged on human heartstrings, that was going on in that school, and they were all hidden there in a space where people are often overlooked, especially for talents. And I'm telling you, God wants you to know that this anger has something to do with your talents, with your spiritual gifts, with your purpose at this time. What are you angry about? You have the right to be mad. I'm hearing Solange. You have the right to be mad. What are you angry about? Really take inventory of that so that you can understand your passion. Look, another energy, another bird energy, flight energy, mind energy. It's very airy, very airy. I mean, whomever this is, you're going through a spiritual awakening for sure. Did you hear how Lorraine picked up when I said that? You're definitely going through a spiritual awakening. What is your advice to the one who is going through the spiritual awakening? What do you want them to know, God? What this to me is saying be authentic. This is screaming authenticity. This is screaming be yourself. This is screaming fight for yourself. This is screaming for you to care about yourself. Find balance. This is screaming temperance, okay? This is the Two of Wands. This is screaming temperance to me, you know? And because it's like baby temperance though, because it's the Two of Wands. So it's screaming like learn how to handle the fire. Learn how to handle the fire. Learn how to deal with it. because your anger is part of your spiritual gift. It's part of your spiritual assignment. Let's see, what is the anger? Is the anger a gift, God? Is the anger a gift? The anger is a gift, God. Show me a good energy. What do you think it is? Because it's a stack right here, but what do you think it is? Intuition. Justice at the bottom of the deck. It's the elephant. All right. The things that you have been through, your anger, it literally is divine justice. Your anger is divine anger. It's divine rage. I'm hearing this anger extends to people who have been wronged, who have been hurt, and it even extends to yourself, but it needs to be harnessed. There's a different way that you need to go about dealing with your anger. Let's see. Look, the Four of Wands, the Fool, Ace of Cups, Nine of Wands. We're going to talk about this one. Put it over here. I just knew it was going to be good stuff. The Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. Okay, so we're going to talk about this Nine of Wands and this Eight of Swords. These are negative, reflective, but it's in comparison to what? Look, you've got 2 to 1 here. You've got 4 to 2. This is good energy, okay? This is good energy. And the fact that we have the Justice card here. But the fact, when I picked the Justice card, look what I saw underneath there. The Five of Wands. And the Five of Swords. I hate that. I really don't like this card. But I know that this energy came out with is it a gift? It's because it can be a gift, and it can also be this. It can also sting when it doesn't need to. It can also hurt. It can also stagnate. It can also send you back a few days, a few timelines. Anger is a careless movement. It can also cause you to be alone. It can also cause you to think about things in a way that is not helpful to your journey. It can also be filled with pride. When your anger starts talking to you, it's a stop sign. Just stop moving. Just stop. Especially if you've got explosive anger. Okay? If you have explosive anger, if you have that type of passion in you, then you have to know, I back out of this right now. I need to take a moment, be with myself. And people who don't respect that, you have to take note of that. And I feel like there are some situations around that could be eating from you that maybe you're not recognizing are contributing to the root cause of your anger. All right, I don't know why, but I'm getting this memory, and I was with a group of friends, and it seemed like every time we would get together, every time everybody laughing, we all laughing. Like, I'm not gonna say that I won't laughing, but it would be a lot of times that I noticed that I wasn't laughing too. That a lot of the jokes were at my expense. And when I said something about it, then immediately I was the one who was kind of crazy, And that was kind of hurtful, because I'm like, okay, well, even if I am wrong, even if I am wrong, even if this is some wounding that's representing itself in my life or in my relationships with my friends, if you're my friend, don't you care to say, like, no, girl, I love you. So sometimes I'm saying that to say that sometimes don't always beat yourself up about what you're feeling, because sometimes what you're feeling is real, but you don't have anything tangible in the 3D to place it on. So if you are being around a group of people, or if you're in a connection, or if you have to frequent an environment where you constantly are being the one who is the doormat, you're the butt of the jokes, I'm hearing dinner for schmucks. Dinner for schmucks, but we'll come back. That's big energy. That's a whole nother reading that I'm getting. So anyway, Be protective of you. Really come back to you. Sort through this anger with your God crown on. Be in the right posture. Remember your posture. Okay, because when you're sitting like this like here, this is the posture of depression. That, unless you stretching, you don't need to be sitting like that all day. Pick your head up. Even I went to church with my mom last week. Even the pastor had said literally pick your head up and don't be looking down there. He said don't be looking down there at all them bad memories. And literally when he said that, my gaze was down and I was thinking about something from the past that was not pleasant. And when the pastor said that and I sat up for a minute, that memory, I couldn't even remember what I was thinking about just by sitting up. I want you to know how powerful you are. I want you to know how much physical movement can be playing a role in how you feel, how you handle, how you harness your energy, your anger, your passion, your peace. Okay? I don't know why people are putting all this negativity and all this negative talk around yoga. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like, don't you know that your body is literally a portal? And some of these movements help to move stagnant energy, help to move and circulate blood. Like, especially if you have swollen legs, you have to move. You have to get up and do something for yourself. I can't sit too long. My legs start swelling. So I have to do stuff. And I'm being led to tell you, like, do stuff. Don't just sit and hold your anger. Dance with it in a healthy way. All right. All right. So I'm going to leave it here. I hope this message has been of some assistance to you. If you need some assistance in your journey at this time, hit me up. If we're a match, if you feel a vibe with me. And I hope that we will talk again very soon. All right. Bye.